Thanks for tuning into the Finance News Network. My name is Jessica Amir, and today I'm with Prospect Resources Managing Director Sam Hosack. Hi Sam, thanks for coming along and welcome back to the network.
Thank you, Jessica.
So for those who aren't familiar, Sam, Prospect Resources has a hard rock lithium deposit, a Tier 1 project in Africa. How do you compare to the global producers?
Prospect Resources completed a definitive feasibility study on Arcadia project, which is its prime asset, and this is based in Zimbabwe, and it's based just outside Harare. It's currently globally the 8th largest hard rock lithium deposit. It has a JORC reserve. This gives us a unique strategic competitive advantage, given that we are in the high grade category with a low strip ratio, and this seriously underpins our competitive advantage on a cash operating cost. So on an aggregated brine and hard rock cash operating quartile, we sit in the lowest cash quartile, providing us significant competition or competitive advantage in this lithium race. We also produce two products. One is a spodumene, with which everyone's familiar, and the other is petalite.
And moving to the quarter that you've just closed, tell us about progress or key milestones that you ticked off.
Most of our focus over the last quarter has been primarily on the funding, identifying the right funding partners and the right funding package for the Arcadia project. Most of our discussions have centered around development banks, and their remit is primarily to create opportunities and development, but in doing so, they only ever pick the best projects. We've been pleased to announce that Sinomine, our strategic partner and off-taker, currently a Tier 1 chemical converter out of China, they have 34% of our off-take for the first 7 years. They've commenced construction on their lithium hydroxide plant, which is very pleasing for us. The program as it stands is set to complete just before we commence production at Arcadia project. In addition, we've successfully concluded a placement with Seven Hills Holdings, and about 50% of that placement was also participated with management options. Finally, we've been able to increase the ownership of Prospect into Arcadia project from 70% up to 87%, and we see direct benefit flow back to our shareholders.
Well, congratulations, you've definitely ticked a lot of goals. So what about this coming quarter? What can we expect?
Over the next quarter, our focus will continue to be on funding, again identifying the right funding partner, selecting them, and selecting and negotiating the right funding package for Arcadia project. In addition, we're looking for and planning a road trip, which will be to select and increase our offtake from 34% upwards. The trip that we have planned actually starts here in Sydney, but will take us to Korea, Japan, mainland China, and Europe. That's how diverse the offtake market is.
Now to the use of lithium in glass and ceramics. What are producers looking for?
Very interesting market, the glass and ceramics. It makes up around 17% of total lithium consumption. So it's not an insignificant portion of the market, and it's very quality focused. So the consumers in the glass and ceramic are primarily looking for lithium, but they're also very focused on some of the other constituents of the concentrates they accept. The glass and ceramic consumers demand a specification for their concentrates that's particularly focused on the iron content. So the iron threshold for glass and ceramics consumers is set at 0.08% iron, which is a very low threshold, and that's why so few producers can actually supply into the glass and ceramics market. When consumed as mineral, the glass and ceramics industries pay a premium not only for the lithium, but also for the additional concentrate properties, the low iron, the low alkalis, and in particular the alumina and silica. These are also required in the glass and ceramics process and are abundantly in our concentrates.
Now, in terms of the key findings from the latest BMI report, what can you tell us?
Benchmark Minerals Intelligence have a deep focus into the lithium market, and Prospect Resources commissioned them to do a study particularly into the glass and ceramics in relation to our products and samples that we've produced. Their findings revealed a great opportunity for Prospect Resources, not only in the ability to meet that market, but the fact that that market is severely supply constrained. The reason it's supply constrained is there are only currently 2 producers able to meet the tight specifications. The market at the moment is about 17% of total lithium consumption, so it's very significant in the global context, and there's a inadequacy in supply, both in volume and quality of supply. What we've managed to identify through BMI is that our products that we're able to ship into the glass and ceramic sector will attract a premium of between 60% and 100% in addition to what we'd be able to attract if we supplied those same minerals into the chemical process for conversion into battery grade products.
Sam Hosack, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you, Jessica.